Welcome everybody to Curiosity of a Turnabout Blind Playthrough Episode 2. Now, this time it's actually going to be blind because I haven't done this before. So now we're going to actually investigate the crime scene. The murder already seems pretty sus because this 16-year-old kid supposedly just snuck up behind this guy with a sword and beheaded him, even though this guy can see 10 seconds into the future. And is an experienced fighter. So that seems pretty impossible unless this kid has some sort of ability that let him do it. But I guess we'll learn more information as we go on. So let's go to the gate. April 23rd, 8:50 a.m. City walls, gate. Well, there's our exit into the wide world. Wide and filled to the brim with hostile and dangerous creatures. There's no risk for us, right? There's always a risk. Though, if the area has been secured, we should be fine. Probably. They rarely come close to our town anyway. They did 3 months ago. Why it's suspected that somebody lured them here. Shh, partner, that guy, he's looking at us. He might have been tailing us. No, I'm pretty sure he didn't. He's been standing there the whole time, eyeing people near the gate. It's a stalker! Call the cops! Are you even listening? To me, it looks like he's worried about something. A little pale, even. So, what do we do about him? How about nothing? It's not our business. We have a crime scene to visit, remember? Oh, right, crime scene! Wonder if it's a locked room. Her attention span is terrible. I mean, no wonder, because she can read anything she wants to. Why remember anything? I wonder if that's another effect of having access to so many documents. Alright. See if there's anything interesting to examine. The area near the wall is full of cheap wooden buildings that all look the same. Only those who can't afford to live further in the center live here. It probably ended up that way because the risk of being caught up in a tragedy is higher here. Yep. If anything's shitty for any reason, you can bet that poor people live. The majority of these look like they've been built only a while ago. A result of that catastrophic incident, probably. It only made the gap between wealthy and poor even worse. Looks like there's nothing else to investigate here, I don't think. What happens if we present random stuff? Nobody here to even show this to. Nobody to talk to. So I guess it's just time to go outside. Oh, it's looking rather nice and grassy for a dangerous field of monsters. April 23rd, 8:52 a.m. City walls, outside the gate. Beautiful day outside. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming. On days like these, kids like you. Since when am I the kid? Hashtag experiments. Only children get excited by those. Adults are no longer allowed to get excited by science? Kid, don't you know about the statistics? A kid laughs on average 300 times a day. An adult laughs on average 5 times a day. Not sure where you got that from. Though I suppose it's true I've laughed more as a kid. Ah, there you are. People at the gate got the message to let you through. Yeah, they seem to recognize us. Hey, you are pretty much the only guy running around in a lab coat all day. True. Anyway, I have no desire to spend more time than I have to out here. Follow me. going to take about 15 minutes to get there. Alright. It's a pretty nice view when they aren't around. However, we'd better stay away from that forest down in the south there. It's full of stingers hiding between the trees, ready to fling lethal poison at us. The reason people call it the Forest of Death, as uncreative as that name sounds. Probably nobody to present anything to either. Nope, nobody here that can peruse this. Alright. Now let's go to the crime scene. Finally, we get to see some information. Here we go. April 23rd, 9:10 a.m. Western City Ruins, crime scene. Is that blood? There is a mess. Should have expected that. Yeah, he was decapitated. Messy stuff. The corpse has already been brought in earlier. Those white lines mark where the pieces used to be. Lovely. Well, it's time I put my spell to use and help out my guys here. Spell? I think I remember what it was. What's his spell? I need to know his power level. Well, this might sound confusing without further explanation, but in essence, his spell allows him to see if a spell has been used on an object. Spellception? No. Well, basically, spells work via some emission from the brain. I still don't quite understand the process. All this emission is psionic energy, but it's basically a form of energy that can alter reality. Now, we're pretty sure it can somehow interact with other dimensions. A lot of stuff would make no sense otherwise. The gist of it is, though, that when this energy is applied to matter, affected matter will show signs of radiation for about a month. Now, this isn't anything the human eye can see. Adrian's eyes, though, they've been permanently altered by his spell, allowing him to perceive the right wavelengths. This is why he is a police investigator. You can instantly see if a spell has been used to tamper with stuff. Snore. Too much info? I even tried to keep it to the basics. I might find his limit more interesting. He doesn't like me sharing it, but... Tell me! Tell me! That gets your attention, of course. You can't see any color. This world is one of black and white. Apparently the only colorful thing is the spell radiation I mentioned earlier. So he's like... The world is film noir to him because he's a cop. The world is black and white. So simple-minded. It makes more sense to me than you. Well, let's have a look around while he's busy. What the heck is this? Seriously, what's this supposed to mean? Did you find something already? Something? Oh yeah, I found quite something. And it makes no sense. Honestly, after checking the corpse earlier, I expected nothing like this. I take it there weren't any traces of spell use on the corpse? Yeah, the corpse was clean. Definitely killed by strictly conventional means. I'm unsure what I found has anything to do with the case. Well, don't keep us waiting. Just where did you find traces of spell use? See that street over there? There was... 1 second, I'll just add it to the diagram. Oh, we get one of those? Take a look at this. A rough diagram of the area. That's a huge victim. That's the only marker we had. It's not necessarily a scale. From what we can deduce, this place used to have 4 streets leading to it. Well, half of them collapsed along with the buildings. Nobody can pass through there anymore. But anyway, found some traces on the ground. Signs of spell use, I take it? Yeah, normally, but look for yourself. It's like a message. Oh, it's a cross! Technically, it's an upside-down cross. Well, it depends on what direction you're looking at it from. Although, if you're looking at it from the way that you'd see the high, it is upside down. Think outside the box. It's a cross if you look at it from our position. Or are you discriminating against people in the north? First of all, this diagram probably doesn't match up with the cardinal directions. Second, you do have a point, but look at exhibit number 2. Huh? Or high? Yes, that. Assuming the same person wrote this, we can conclude from what direction we're supposed to look at this, the bottom of the letter's faces the bottom of the cross. So it's an upside-down cross. Judging from your exchange, you can't take this seriously either. Well, I have no idea what to make of this. They're leaving such casual greeting? Kind of an unsettling thought. Got it! Hashtag dying message! Dying message makes even less sense. Yeah, that only makes sense if the message was bye. No, that'd be the victim taking it with humor. No, remember the victim's spell. Seeing into the future is a passive spell that only applies energy to yourself. You wouldn't have been able to write this kind of message with that. Wait, but then wouldn't he see traces of spell use on the body? Unless his ability isn't active all the time. If his ability just wasn't active, he could have gotten the jump on. Right, but the cross is just equally intriguing, isn't it? This kind of cross used to be a religious symbol. It's upside down, though. That can't be good. I have no idea. Never been much of a history buff. Heck, the only reason I knew about this cross in the first place was because... well, because of those stupid rumors, of course. Oh. Right, it's more like a legend at this point, though the exact story tends to change with times. Rumors about the outside world. Seeing how we barely explore it, it's no surprise they exist. How did this one go again? The vampires! Like he can read thoughts. Yeah, this kind of thing shows up in the legend about the vampire. That's, of course, complete nonsense. People just want some sort of explanation for the existence of them. At the moment, the common consensus seems to be that a supernatural entity created them. Yeah, well, but that sounds about as reasonable as a vampire. Entity, which is also controlling them right now, is referred to as the vampire. Oh, that they were talking about it. The actual details of what they can supposedly do vary greatly depending on who you ask. Most seem to agree on a few things, though, like how they have to avoid sunlight and stuff. If I remember correctly, a cross was something that helped fend off this vampire, right? Correct! They can't go near crosses, or they'll stop sparkling and burn. Is that how it works? What about this upside-down cross, then? I don't know. That's like the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Well, the inversion of an anti-vampire would be pro-vampire. Please don't tell me you're actually considering that stupid story. Not really, it was just an experiment. Social experiment? What's that even supposed to be? Well, I hope you won't try that experiment in the trial. Feel pretty ashamed for you then. We'll see. Well, as far as I'm concerned, this cross is just some kind of joke. It's a joke. Just a hashtag prank, bro. Prank with a dead body? Gone horribly wrong. Guy freaking dies. Cops call. Well, there's the possibility this is completely unrelated to the murder. There's nothing else strange about the ground these traces are radiating from. So, somebody really just left that message behind? Don't think too hard about it, you'll only get a headache. The only thing giving me headaches here is you. I'll go back to investigating the small stuff. Feel free to look around. Sure. Did you get a diagram, though? Oh, of course. Here, just take this one. Okay then, time to see if there are any more clues, whether they point to a vampire or not. Suspiciously open door over there. Might want to check that out too after I'm done here. Alright, so this is what we already saw. The head is freaking far from that body. Like, there's no way you could do that with a single swipe unless you had, like, super strength or something. The victim's head was apparently found here. Not sure if heads would actually fly that far. Let's think about it. No clues here, just dust and a lot of rubble. The blood that most likely resulted from the murder. Isn't there way too much? Oh, this seems about right. Human body usually holds more than 5 liters. If sudden decapitation took place, this would most likely be the result. This amount also makes it more or less undeniable that this was indeed the crime scene. There is an extreme kill. If I didn't know better, I would have concluded that he simply ran into one of them. The victim's body was found here. Except for the head. What was he doing in this of all place? Not a bad question. It's kind of a corner with not much in it. Well, he might have been moved there, or he was looking around for something. I wonder if the head was away from the body. Coffin. What's this, a coffin? Seems to be a cross on it, just like the one the detective found, except not upside down. Ah, the vampire is loose. Don't look inside. I'm gonna open it now. Fool! Don't you realize? Those who disturb them will suffer terrible fates. Before you know it, this will be your burial, and the turnabout will be buried with it. Forever! It's empty. No notable traces inside. That was disappointing. I suppose I can still keep note of this being at the scene. Yeah, I'll just pick it up and put it in my pocket. I don't see anything else interesting to look at. So, let's talk about dead men tell no tales, especially when they're not even present anymore. What if I do present random stuff? Right, okay. So, I guess we'll move into the abandoned house. What the heck? April 23rd, 9:15 a.m. Western City Ruins, abandoned house. Is somebody here? That guy's relaxing in a chair at a crime scene. Like a boss. It's a little strange he's wearing a paper bag over his head. 0 points, man. You're way off. Yes, that off. At least not off, right? Where did this guy come from? I didn't hear him approach at all. What's up? You must be that Linus guy. Correct. I presume you're with the police force, then. Right. Police. Yes, I'm with them. Name's Colin Claret. I'm the department's blood specialist. Buddy Colin, they call me sometimes. Should be happy they're not buddy yet. This guy seems like a vampire. Lovely. Can I call the police? This man is the police, I'm afraid. Just blood. No need to be afraid. I'm not losing my way. Huh? Well, anyway, you take it you know what we're doing here. Haven't pulled the gist of it. You're gonna stain your coat in some bloody trial. Pretty sure it's gonna be just a trial, not a, quote, trial. Well, I've never seen one, so I won't be able to judge, I guess. I feel for you, man, so I'll share all the gory details with you. Is it really that bad? Sorry, man. Welcome to the town of mire, misery, and murder. Very lovely. But we need what info we can get. Alright, let's see. No clues here, just dust. We look at the guy in the chair. The gentleman hasn't moved an inch since we entered. Hiding behind that poker face of his. I'm sure anyone can use a poker face for a match like that. Oh, sir? Hashtag ignored. Well, if he doesn't want to talk to us, I suppose there's nothing to be done right now. Different guy than the one we just talked to? Is he, like, dead? Is this the weapon here? Serious item lying on the floor. That's blood. Excellent observation. Yeah, there's clearly some blood on it. But I've never seen a weapon like this. If it even is one. It's like a bat. It seems slightly familiar. I've seen it somewhere before. Did he in a past life? Not sure how you arrived at that, though I doubt it. Maybe you were the killer in a past life. Think about that. Then time wouldn't make much sense. What's time? A miserable pile of numbness. That almost sounded clever, admittedly. Almost. Well, this thing is probably relevant. I'll take a note of it. Strange blade out of the corner. Okay, nothing else. Sure, you've taken a look at this. Ah, yes, the murder weapon. This is the murder weapon. Can you elaborate? Of course. Just ask away and I'll go into full details, I will. What, this? I don't know what that is, I don't. Well, never mind then. Yeah, it's a nice badge you got there, it is. Didn't really want to happen, so thanks. Really, man? You're like the only lawyer now, you are. Not really, of course. Still. Give me a little taste of the sweat of blood of standing in a courtroom, you will. I hope it won't actually require me to sweat and bleed. Come on, Linus. You underestimate the intensity of this job. Back in the day, the prosecutors used whips and samurai swords to make their point. How far back in the day are we talking? No way it's so that civilized now. Hey, this is Ray I'm talking to. You can take what she says at face value anyway. Alright, whatever. Okay, talk to me. You're a blood specialist? What exactly does that mean? Yeah, you know, that stuff. In your blood. Pretty colorful stuff. Well, I mean, what makes you a specialist? If only I can see its true beauty. Pretty colors. Colors? Did you have a similar spell to Mr. Destry? Got it, man. My eyes are special. Only I can see it. It's called Bloody Spectacle. True color of blood. I see. That doesn't sound too useful. That's not all, after all. Everyone's blood is a different color, actually. I wonder, what color is your blood? We are not going to find out right now. What a shame. So, if I got this right, you can see people's blood in unusual colors? Yes, there's something unique about each person's blood. An oddly specific spells be fairly useless in most situations. So what's the limit? Care to share? It's nothing big, really. If I can see it, I can't smell it. Forgotten by this point. That iron smell of fresh blood. Ah, well. Quite tragic. As expected, a weak spell comes with a pretty weak limit, too. Well, basically, if you see blood, you can make comparisons and use where it came from, right? Yes, all I need is 2 samples. Then I can tell if it's from the same person. Probably checked the big mess outside already. He's asking some more about what he found. I present his own profile to him. That's me, Bloody Collins is what they call me. Does that bother you? It's not the most charming nickname. No way, man. Pretty alright, in my opinion. Sums up pretty well what I do, it does. That's a compliment it is. Blood is beautiful, after all. Lovely once again. Anyway, if you find any pretty blood, feel free to introduce it to me. That's just wrong. Are you gonna marry it? Alright, I want to know what's the deal with the guy in the chair. So, who exactly is sitting in the chair over there? Beats me. You don't know? There are some things that are obvious. He's been dead for a while, for example. Wait, dead? Wait, she? Yes, are you surprised? This is an unidentified corpse. Explain why they haven't moved it at all since we got here. How come nobody mentioned this to me? We ruled it as irrelevant to the case we did. That person near the crime scene, and you don't think it's related? We had 2 reasons, yes we did. First one is, we don't know who this is. All people in Safe Haven are accounted for. Right, there is someone with a spell-keeping track of the body count in the town. If someone leaves the town's boundaries, the count goes down temporarily, but they'd definitely still be able to tell if somebody went missing permanently. As far as I'm informed on that anyway. In other words, you're positive this person was not from our town. Yes, there must have been an outsider. Outsider. Weren't there rumors about an outcast once? There were. But in the end, we don't know what this means. The outcast. Someone who's been thrown out of the town. But it's supposedly happened 50 years ago, so we have a medical care inside the walls, but life expectancy out here is pretty low. No way to last that long. What if it's the vampire? Well, at least that problem been taken care of now. Right, the rumors of the outcast and the vampire was also mixed at times. Some even said that the outcast was also a vampire in Secret Bend. Makes a little sense to me, but that's just how these rumors go. This body definitely still seems fairly young for a little more. Even so, it's not someone from our town, so there's no reason to care. You say so. People from outside don't fall under the protection of our laws. Not that it ever mattered. Aside from the outcasts, there have been no reports of anybody out there. Then there's reason number 2. This woman has been dead for a while. Definitely didn't die today. Huh? Probably sedated this in the corpse at all. Indeed, and there hasn't been decomposition yet. Signs are clear. I tried to cut it slightly. There isn't even any blood inside. Basically, completely blown off, like we got a shotgun or something. Really? Didn't they put this paper bag on her head? No, that was Mr. Destiny's now. Couldn't bear to look at it for more than a second. Well, thanks for sparing us the view. Well, it was strange. Couldn't find any signs of the brain. Almost like it's been removed, too. Just like the blood. This is essentially not much more than an empty shell of a human body, huh? Curious, very curious. Behind this casual demeanor and carefree smile, the brutal truth is hidden. You recovered quickly from shocks, I'll give you that. Alright, let's talk about the blood outside. Already taking a look at that blood outside then? Yes, of course. And, you know who that blood belongs to? I was here before they took away the corpse. It was totally the victim's blood. I did a close look. Very close. That bright yellow color, no doubt about it. Well, looks like the giant pool of blood did indeed belong to the victim. What a surprise. Hold it! Can't smell blood, it looks yellow. Then, how do you know it was blood? Hashtag gotcha. You really want to know? Well, I don't. It glows a little. Yes, sure does. Make absolutely sure I sometimes, there are other ways to tell than just smell. He drank it. Ah! There's no way that's how he meant it. Actually, that is what I meant, yes, kind of. Ah! Vampire's identity confirmed! Relax, not quite like that. Don't drink blood off the ground. If it wasn't on the ground, you would? I just touched it with my finger and then licked it. Yes, definitely blood out there. Kind of gross, also definitely still a vampire. Noted. By his dubious methods, this might prove useful. Find anything else with blood on it, I'll probably show it. This was the weapon the defendant used? Yes, that has to be it. Still, this looks odd. What is this? Pretty obvious it is. Modified arm of a slicer. Slicer? One of the known species of them. Fast, six-legged creatures that rely on hearing. The important part are their claws, if you could call them that. Each of them has two of these to cut through their prey. Yes, they're quite deadly, they are. Sharpest, hardest material we've ever seen. They have no trouble cutting through solid stone with these. Still, to find one of these here modified for human use with two handles. Quite a find. Not many would even survive an encounter with those things. Yes, whoever got this must have been good at fighting. The defendant such a capable fighter? Yeah, nice try. We won't argue this belonged to the defendant, I think. More likely to have belonged to the victim, or someone else. Wouldn't that have been illegal? Yes, of course. It was brought into safe haven, that is. Furthermore, could the defendant even handle such a thing? I've been informed that he's still fairly young. He's received some combat training. Yeah, but is he strong enough to whack someone's head off that far? From his mentor in preparation for his future post. Sorry, man. Probably no longer his future post, unless I can somehow make a difference. Despite being harder than steel, his material is actually not that heavy. Don't think you'll get to say he couldn't handle it. As for fingerprints? Fingerprints. Did you know that your fingers leave some traces on surfaces? Right, I think we used to have some stuff for that. Haven't had to use them in at least 30 years, though. People don't murder that often these days. When they do, it's someone going out of control with their spell. You're doing it wrong. Do you not care at all about the truth? They have the point. That prosecutor would have little need to bother with fingerprints. Minute forensics like that won't change the outcome of the trial. Yeah, I've heard the prosecutor can detect lies, but if that's the case, couldn't he just ask the defendant point blank if they're guilty? I think that's one of the few spoilers I got, is that the prosecutor can detect lies. Even if the fingerprints aren't on the weapon, gloves explain it away. Fingerprints are pretty useless, honestly. This is madness! Yes, besides, we don't have the time to check everything with prints out here. And even we are not allowed to just bring stuff from outside into safe haven. Even though a murder happened, the safety of the town is more important than the truth of one little slaughter. I'm guessing that means no taking a murder weapon with us. Would it even be possible to take it through the barrier? Let's see. The Guardian's barrier prevents any variation of them from passing through. Protective system severed arm made into a weapon. Try it. Not worth the trouble. So you check the blood on this too? Of course. Who's doing that when you showed up? I did. Any curious finds? The kitchen's blood and only his blood. Did you taste this too? Yes, I'm a professional. Of course I did. Still, like something was a little off about the taste. Off? Might regret asking. It's definitely blood, but weird bitterness to it, mixed with something else. Something other than blood on a plate? Who wants to put poison on you? Well, in that case, the officer might drop in the second round. Hashtag amateur. Some poisons are only effective if they enter the bloodstream. Just digesting them would be fine. Do you know any science? I knew that. Hashtag a likely story. Just put down what we actually learned about this thing. A little bitter or salty trace could have been from anything. Maybe someone just spilled their coffee. It's blood. You'll regret this. And it will be more painful than staring at the empty bottom of your cup of coffee. Well, it's not too painful. We already talked about it. Alright, we already talked about all this stuff. Already presented this, right? Alright, whatever. Oh, there's multiple levels. Okay. See if there's anything upstairs. April 23rd, 9:20 a.m., Western City Ruins. Abandoned house, upper floor. The only floor that seemed safe to step on. The other ones all had giant holes in them. Well, I doubt this place has any relevance, but maybe we'll still find a thing if we look closely enough. Don't want to present this, might fall through the floor. Alright. Dust, lots of dust. Window. There's a weird trace on the bottom of the inner part of the frame. Almost like something thin and long was slid across here. A rope? The joke's on you. The window is completely barred. It's like impossible to lead through it. Perfect locked room. Far from perfect, actually. Leaving aside there's holes in the floor and an open staircase. There is no glass in this window, it's just a hole. Same is true for any other window I saw, really. No glass? That's blasphemy! Well, it must have been shattered or removed at some point. These things are old, at any rate. This means something like a rope could have been put through it easily without opening it. How did he see through my locked room? No, I'm telling you, this is the opposite of a locked room. Well, on my scale of likelihood of this being important, I'll give it a 50-50 shot. Which is enough to make a note. Alright. I doubt we'll find anything else up here. Time to move on. No, I guess we won't find anything. Oh wait, what's this? If we're not careful, we might fall. Lots of holes in the floor here. There might be a secret passage in this fireplace, you know? How about we just check? Fool, that's why it's a secret. You can't find it. That'd be too easy. Well, if there's no way to verify this theory, there's no point in keeping it. Alright, let's see if there's anything downstairs. Maybe there's something hidden downstairs. Let's see. April 23rd, 9:20 a.m. Westview City Ruins. Abandoned house. Basement. What happened here? What secrets are you keeping in your basement? Who are you talking to? This house has been abandoned. Anyway, that's a lot of shards. Quite a lot. Careful where you step. Heh, shards. Be glad there's no rule about taking off your shoes. Why would there be? Actually, never mind. This is a pretty spacious basement. Heck, it seems to be larger than the house itself. Wonder what the purpose used to be. Surprised if there weren't some relevant items here. Let's have a good look at this mess. Trying to hide your next secret in the basement too? Sure. Why am I checking the one place here where there isn't anything? Because nothing is scarier. That answer makes about as much sense. Right. For a basement, this place is very well lit. I'm surprised the electricity in the place still works, to be honest. A nearby small generator of some sort might be likely, but will that really last so many years without somebody doing maintenance? It's true. Let's set up respect. Let's look at the tapestry here. Undo the curtains! Let's not. Why did you use a word like undo? Isn't it suspicious? Things aren't just suspicious by merit of being curtains. That's very curtainist. Why did I do that? I shouldn't try doing these jokes. But, it's red! What if it committed curtaincide? If there's any blood hidden on this curtain, the police will find it. Not entirely sure how it would even get up there, though. In fact, why is this curtain stretched across the ceiling like this? Probably just wanted the place to not look that empty. Way too suspicious. It's just a curtain. Don't think too hard about it. But weren't you just saying it was suspicious? Isn't that just what I've been saying? I feel tricked. Alright, that's probably a red herring. So there's a big pipe here. Oh, a gun. Just a gun. Boring. Sure, this is definitely the least important item in the room. If somebody is killed with a gun, it's always so obvious. I mean, there's almost always a bullet that you can see. Even if there isn't, the wound makes it #obvious. Saying other weapons don't share this property? It's also rifling marks. Way too easy. Well, you won't be getting any of those with this weapon. This is clearly a shotgun. I have a rough idea of the science behind those. They work differently. Ah, yes, the shotgun. Extremely effective at close range. Especially against zombies. Would they qualify as something similar to zombies, I wonder? Though I doubt even a shotgun would help you hold out that long against multiple of them. From what I can tell, it's a shot missile. So it's better than firing recently, I suppose. See, it's even obvious to tell if they've been used. It's so easy. Almost like you want us to have trouble overriding the truth. Wouldn't surprise me. That was fired recently. Well, how do we know it was recent? What about the shards of glass? I want to check the shards. Alright, let's look at this cart then. It's some kind of a trolley? More of a rolling table. The culprit hid the decisive evidence here. right under everyone's favorite dish. Hashtag brilliant. That's nice, but there isn't anything resembling food around. If something used to be on this table, it's gone. There's some shards on it. Maybe the glass shards used to be something placed on this. For example, a vase. The glass vase? That sounds odd. Watch it be the truth. Such is the power of guest detective. Moving on, then. The best we can get from this is, there's a table, there are shards. So I'll put that down just in case. No blood on the shards, no evidence hidden on the table. It's all wrong! As usual, you have some bizarrely random expectations. Alright, so we got something here, and we got a box. Gasp! It's the flashlight! That was dramatic. It's the main villain, for sure! Everything's just from the doing of this very object. Hashtag just as planned. These other shards, remnants of its fallen competitors, corpses. Okay, let's just get back to reality here. It's a flashlight, nothing special. Yet you will regret ignoring this. Add it to the court record. No. Do it. No. So it's evil scheme that everyone fooled once again. You will regret this once it turns out the flashlight played you like a damn fiddle. Pretty sure flashlights cannot play musical instruments. No good, it's nothing. What about this box? Oh, doesn't seem to be anything left in it. There are some traces in the dust suggesting there used to be something here, though. It smells suggest. It smells suggest medicine, herbs. Wait, there's actually still something left in the corner. What is it? Blue. And it's more than 300 years old. Real criminals use pepper. Let's see if it still works. Huh, it's actually still really sticky. Haha, problem. My fingers, they're completely glued together. Oh, it said super glue, but I didn't expect it to still work this well. What do you think, Ray? Has he finally learned his lesson? And if he has, May, he's finally entered a higher difficulty mode. So the one in the mirror is called May. I was wondering about that. Well, technically I didn't care much. So, any ideas how to help me out here? We could use some of the shards to cut through the glue. Let's see. Are there any good ideas on how to help me? Use the force. Sounds like a plan. Okay, just carefully analyze the situation. Maybe water will help? Take a look in the instruction manual. Nope, it says waterproof right on page 3. Well, at least you actually looked it up with your spell. Wait, spells, that might work. Sure, it says waterproof, but I can force water on anything. I'll just combine this glue with the water from that bottle in my house. Uh-oh, is something else going to come apart? And it came off. Experiment successful. I didn't know you could do it over such a distance. Well, there's no limit on the distance of my spell. Though, to be honest, I had no guarantee the water would come here, rather than the other way around. Could have gone horribly wrong. But from what I figured out about my spell recently, I was pretty certain it would. And just like that, he's back in easy mode? I don't think having my hands glued adds much to the difficulty in full. Anyway, time to move on. Not even a note for the glue? No, I'd rather just forget about it. It's important. I'm sure to remember this experience even without a note. Alert! Everyone get ready to leave! Uh-oh. April 23rd, 9:42 a.m., Western City Ruins, crime scene. Good, you're here. What's happening, them? Got it. Looks like a group of haunters from the church is heading for this area. No need to panic, there's still quite a bit away. Staying around would be too dangerous. Right, I guess this will have to do then. We'll discuss the results once we're back in a safe region. Probably the best we can expect for an investigation of this place. I bet you had to look at all the evidence in order to get this outcome. April 23rd, 10 a.m., city walls outside the gate. Look, we managed to get away without any incident. Told you, there's nothing to worry about. Hope you've got a good picture of the case now. More or less. Spent more time inside a nearby house than the actual scene. Saw you. Found the weapon then. Well, it's hard to overlook, just like the other corpse. Right. Hope you didn't take a look. You always carry those paper bags around just in case? Wouldn't that be something? I just happen to have that with me. I take it you really didn't take much of a look either, then. Well, we did what we could manage in the time, but whoever that woman was, she's been determined to not be of priority. Chances are she took her own life and the gun was propelled downstairs. What? That doesn't make sense. Unless the stairwell was directly opposite her. Her hands in her pockets afterwards? I doubt it. But even if she was killed by someone from the town, she herself isn't someone from there, there's no law to hold the killer responsible. Anyway, we still do take her into account. I heard the prosecutor's guess was that she's got something to do with the motive. Guess she'll just have to wait till the questioning's done. Visiting hours should begin in a few minutes. More importantly, did your investigation yield anything else? A few things you probably didn't have time to see. The most striking thing is a stain we found. Let me update the diagram one final time. Let's not update the autopsy report. We don't even have one yet, so I'd appreciate an update. Curious. Red stain down that road? Don't jump to conclusions just yet. This actually isn't a blood stain. I had Colin check. Then what is it? We have a pretty good guess because this broken bottle seemed to have contained it. Grape juice? Close. The wine bottle. The wine bottle? A lot of stuff at this scene. So how much of a chance is there that this is related? Greatly important question, huh? Well, the stain was already dry, but considering the rain early last night, this must have happened near the time of the crime. I see. Otherwise it wouldn't still have been so clear. Yes, pretty much. By the way, I took a closer look at the shards, and there were traces of a spell being used on some of them. That might mean somebody used a spell to break it. Possible. But okay, so we're talking about the shards of the bottle, not of the stuff downstairs. On the other hand, there's something speaking against its relevance. See, we pretty much know that the defendant and victim used the large street on the left and that street only to arrive at the crime scene. In other words, it's not likely this belonged to them. The third person dropped the bottle at the scene. We don't know yet. Couldn't really have been the witness either. Right, the witness. Let's not jump ahead. The wine's been confirmed to be from Safe Haven, not the outside world. That's about all I can tell you about that. Oh, one last thing. There's a strange rectangular gap in the stain. Basically, some other object was there when the stain was made. Most likely. Well, we didn't find anything that would match it. Someone dropped a bottle of wine near the scene, then. It's worth keeping in mind. (2387) Filera Weinheim. What about... Now, I see you've marked some other things. Yeah, I found some more traces of radiation. 4 walls here had some large marks on them. They all had similar but no particular shape. So I'm thinking this is just someone messing around for no reason. Quite unfortunate they happened to do so near the crime scene. Wait, which walls? I didn't see... Oh, these walls, okay. Could someone have walked through the walls? They said something in the newspaper about somebody seeming to walk through walls. Well, thanks for the new info, little as it was. Oh, and the person who walks through walls could have, gone out the window even with it being boarded up. Of course, can't you leave you out of the loop now, can I? Not when your special job is completely hopeless. And thanks for the encouragement. I mean it. Sad as it is, there isn't much here you can do. The other lawyers all give up on their career for a reason, you know. No matter how sorry old Guardian feels for your client, he's always placed the town's law and safety first. Won't be different here. We'll see, I suppose. Anyway, that's about all I can tell you at the moment. I'll be heading back inside now. You should, too. Fenton is probably out of questioning now. Go meet him. Sure, I'll do that. You've changed quite a bit, haven't you? 3 months ago, it was always just about your research. Take care of the girl, will you? I'll try. Well, staying outside won't do any good. Home sweet home. Let's see what we can find out in town. April 23rd, 10:05 a.m. City Walls, the gate. Rise from the ashes. No reaction? Notice me, senpai. I'm kind of used to your randomness by now. Is that what he thinks? He probably doesn't want our fantastic idea. An idea? Well, go ahead. He's going to say it either way. Might as well get it out now. You know how the guards at the gate keep noticing something down? Totally keeping gate records. That's totally important evidence. That was actually not a bad thought. What did you expect? A bad thought? Guess we'll drop by the police sometime and see if those gate records exist. Alright, same as usual. What happens if I go back to my study? Last stress I'll study. We're back. There's still things to be done. Don't tell me you have no idea what to do. Don't you even know the basics of investigation? Keep looking for clues until you know absolutely everything. True, I suppose good enough won't be enough to win this. Just ask us if you're stuck. I'm professional. Well, I suppose I could do that if I'm out of ideas. We should consult the cops again. Still have information. It's our job. It's our time to meet an offender. We can get all the info out of them we can get. That should be all. Fair enough. Flashlight with a knife in the collection room. Never mind. Work desk. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Some kind of sketch. What is this? It's... Oh, you have a drawing of a pond here, huh? It's for research. Are you sure? Because it seems to me like you just got bored and drew an outline around your hand. Well, this is what I did. It was for research. Sure, we can talk about this down at the station. It's still not what you think. Besides, laziness isn't a crime, you know? It's a sin, close enough. Moving on. I'm just faffing around. No reason to act. So, 10:40 a.m. Police headquarters entrance. Excellent. Soon I missed it. Ah, well, isn't that nice? Actually, I thought of a few more things I could still ask you about. Well, I'm going to be here all day. There's next to no restriction on what I'm about to tell you about, so ask away. My assistant had an interesting thought earlier. You keep track of who goes in and out of the gate? I see. Yeah, we do. We have some there who can identify anyone with a spell. So essentially everyone. Well, our thought process is to not open the gate to any of them. Since they're not human, they wouldn't have spells. Sound sensible? Next, you do keep track of who left and entered. You won't learn anything new from me. Feel free to. Let's see. Titus Rhodus, Nils Gickham, Karen Cat. Is that the witness? Lisa Expedition. Linus, Ray, enter. Okay. No previous history. Oh, so it was that was it. For 5 months. That's the most interesting thing here. Any chance somebody left some other way? You realize that the town is surrounded by massive walls. Well, again, somebody could have walked through walls. Sure, the barrier only stops them getting in here. Well, back then the wall was clearly breached by a spell. Considering their variety, I suppose we can't. Afraid climbing or flying over the wall wouldn't be possible. We have measures in place to stop that. Right. I've read the warning about how military should attempt that. We have people patrol to check for tunnels or holes, too. Haven't found anything. Can't tell you more than that either. Can't consider that for now. The town has turned into a perfect locked room. A locked room, please, it doesn't even have a real ceiling. We now know who passed through the gate. Will that be useful? I don't know. Isn't there a name on that list I don't know? Maybe I should ask. One of it. There seems. We obviously can't question everyone in town. It was pretty obvious that someone has been walking through walls. Who is this Karen Cat mentioned in the gate records? Is that our witness? Oh, that's the witness I mentioned. If you want to know more, I can tell you what I know. That would be appreciated. Karen Cat. He lives near the gate. Didn't reveal much to the fellow. Seemed pretty tired. Well, after witnessing what he witnessed, I probably wouldn't be in the best shape either. No need to be modest, Detective. You could take flattery from you. Did I forget it's my birthday or something? True, I'll take it back. More importantly, what did this man actually witness? Right, of course. I was out of town with you when most of the interview happened, so you can't tell me any details on that. Yeah. Oh, I know. I can give you his address. You can have a little chat with the man himself. Really need to get along with strangers in this profession, huh? Sure, I'll pay him a visit. Just head east from the gate and you should get to his house. Right there. The only witness to the crime is guaranteed to be the killer. I hope you don't plan to tell him that. Kind of needed to be cooperative, and I've never done this. Why make it easy? Are you afraid of a challenge? There's a difference between a challenge and pointless difficulty. Okay, whatever. Presenting random stuff to people. This, I was going to give it to you. Of course I knew. Well, how does it feel to be a lawyer? Somehow doubt what I've been doing can be considered normal lawyer work. Well, I would have never met one. Still, you're quite part of it, aren't you? Showing it around like that? Maybe I should try showing my face around somehow as well. I really need to stop presenting to badge. It just spreads the weird idea. Alright. Okay. I think what I need to do is talk. No, I meant to move. No! Let's go talk to the defendant. Okay. April 23rd, 11 a.m. Prison cell number 4. Cell number 4? He's doomed. Haven't you kept insisting we have this figured out? Sure, but in some Asian countries, Asian, not following your vocabulary there. Ah, well, it can't be helped, May. It can be so difficult for a high-class person like me to hold a conversation. The masses are all so much behind the times. Pretty sure you're the one behind the times here. So where's my client? There he is. What's his spell? Who? Your lawyer, I suppose. You're Nils Gickham, right? What is a lawyer? Figured this might happen. Well, I was chosen to defend you in court, which is a process to determine your guilt in this crime. Crime. All everyone is saying. I'm a criminal. I'm at fault. I don't care anymore. Well, I wouldn't be in a great mood either. Let me alone, please. That won't do. I need to ask you some questions. Then ask. He doesn't trust us. But we need to trust in our client, no matter what. Easy to say. Let's see if we can work out his story at the very least. Nothing to examine. Prison uses special spell reinforced bars. They seem to do the job most of the time. Unless you can walk through walls. Love walking through walls. Wonder if he knows anything about this gun. Getting his attention might be tricky. Alright, let's talk to him. Well, what can you tell us about yourself? What do you want? Anything, really. I heard you're looking to join the Guardian Force? I can forget that, can't I? They'd never take someone like me now. I'm a risk. Can't lie to him. It's most likely the truth. That's fine, isn't it? I expected as much. Nobody's ever seen much value in me anyway. I was just some fragile child. True, I don't expect much of children. See, that's what I mean. Linus! That's still Mr. Sky to you. Still better than him calling me Dad, I suppose. Or her calling me Dad. Who cares? How can you say something like that to him right now? I wasn't done. It's true that I don't expect much of children in terms of ability. However, that doesn't mean I shouldn't respect them for their potential. Potential? It might be nothing right now, but you have a lot of time to grow and become something. That's why you were still called an apprentice, no? In the future. What future? Sorry. Nobody's ever put any faith in me, you know? There are no parents that would come visit me right now. Do you want to know why? Continue. I don't even know. They just abandoned me. After learning that my spell could do nothing useful to them, I was thrown out into the streets. What? Potential you speak of? Not even my parents saw it in me. How can I believe in something like that? The story, it's almost like there was just one person that believed in it. Can you guess your mentor? Yes. Alright, getting somewhere. I should ask him about his spell and the victim. But finally, we do know what his spell is. Could he have even killed the guy like that? I want to know about his spell. What is your spell? My stupid spell. It's called Transmundane Aviation. Quite a name. What does it do? It's a little complicated. I can mark anything I want with it. As long as it's marked by my spell, it cannot be affected by other people's spells in any way. That's useless, right? It can only limit others. See why people might discriminate against something like this. Instead of providing anything, it seems mostly good for restricting people. But it's not even that great at that. Do you want to know why? The limit, I suppose. Yeah, the limit. The spell effect is applied to the user instead. Huh? Well, it's like this. When a spell is used against anything that's marked, the spell effect isn't really cancelled. Instead, it's more that it's treated like the effect is applied to me instead. I think I understand. So instead of negation, it's more like messing with targeting. Like taking the bullet for whatever you marked. Pretty much. Master Ronan seemed to believe it would make for a great protective ability. I don't really see it. I'd just die instead, and then be useless again. Great. Why would you think so highly of it? It could have its uses, but only against spell users. They're criminals, but why would any of us threaten the protection of the town? I seem to think there could be unhappy people in the outer districts. It said something about how people get carried away by their emotions sometimes. In such cases, they might not realize that they're making it worse. In other words, some kind of riot? I suppose there's always the chance that a madman like Jack shows up again. Jack, heck, I sure wouldn't have been able to do much against him. If I'd marked people with my spell, then what? I would have died, and then they would have died the next second, too. I wonder about that. But you know what? I sort of see how Jack felt. Being born with such a ridiculous spell, killing people on view. You should not feel sorry for a crazy mass murderer. Sure, his spell was bad. It only truly went out of control when he started killing. Is that what happened? Who really knows? Maybe I'll be able to ask him soon. If I get convicted, I might get locked up right next to him. Wait, what happened to his profile? Maybe. Okay. The mark can only be one solid object in one cuboid area. Oh, could that be what the splash of wine marked out? Oh, I don't know. That might be a tenuous connection. His mentor. I still... Never mind. You wanted to know about Master Ronus, right? More or less. What was your relationship with the victim? He was like a father. And very amazing compared to me. Felt familiar history made him outclass most other members of the Guardian Force. After all, no matter what they tried, he would have time to react 10 seconds in advance. But it wasn't just that. He didn't just rely on that. He was an extremely good detective. detective. Wouldn't that be more of a job for the police? Well, as the Guardian Force, they are tasked with eliminating threats. Threats to the security of the Great Guardian, and by extension the entire town. They have authority to investigate in order to discover secret plots. His analytical ability was also another advantage in combat, to predict his opponent. He was also trained in martial arts, just in case prediction alone could not. Wow, he sounds like he was their best man. Totally max level. Yeah, he is. He was. My condolences, I'm sorry. That's rare. Always said stuff like, believe in yourself. Bell is the key to a great future. He'll be a better force member than me someday. You see what it got him. What did it get him? Well, he's not yet willing to say it outright. Curious, though. If I'm to believe this tale, this child's entire world just fell apart. So why would he kill him? Just what happened out there? It's a good question. So, care to tell us? What else? What you did or saw that night? What happened? You'll have to know what we're working on, no? I'm not. I didn't do a thing. Nothing happened, okay? Huh? Lying won't help you, you know? The truth will catch up. Weren't you supposed to trust me? Now you're calling me a liar, too, like everyone else. I'm here to help you, not to trust you. If you want trust, then maybe you should stop hiding things first. Just like the rest. Just want to get rid of me. Looks like that was too forceful. I can't get people to tell you the truth like this. Well, I'm not sure what else to do. It's obvious that it's in his best interest to tell me, yet he won't. You got any better ideas? I'm all ears. Ideas? Of course I have those. Still, isn't it a shame that poor Linus doesn't have his own lawyer power yet? Lawyer power? The power to sue people? Hashtag wrong. Didn't you know? All lawyers come with special powers to determine the truth. So, their spells? Looking at our prosecutor, I can see what you mean, definitely. Spells? Nah, this is completely different. It was around before spells existed. Lawyers with magic powers? Well, spells are ultimately a product of the mind. We still don't know how they work. So in theory, those could have been early instances of people developing those capabilities. Assuming what Ray is talking about has any basis in reality. Earth to Linus, keep listening. Get with the Linus sigh. So what do you propose I do? Easy. You just need to break the Cyclops. The what? In here is a Cyclops, a mental resistance. First of all, I'm not seeing anything. You are, of course, correct. There's nothing to be seen for you as you are. Unfortunately, you need a Megatron to receive these locks. Once again, you're using a lot of terms that mean nothing. But worry not, even if you can't see them, you should be able to break them. This girl really can't distinguish fiction from reality very well. You wimps play games without a blindfold, right? You're completely right, Ray. Those people that rely on their eyes are disgusting, really. For a moment, I thought you had another good idea. But I guess that was asking too much. What? Wait! Just try it. Imagine the locks. Use your imagination! And then, break through them, using evidence. You're telling me to use a mental image as assistance. And then treat the process like some sort of chess. Oh, not chess. Wrong ability. You're not ready for that yet. Well, this is some sort of structured process, I suppose. Might work, provided I make the proper moves. Great. Now, do you see the locks? I'm trying, but... Whoa, cool. What do you know? Maybe I've gone mad after all. You can see them, can't you? The box on that guy's heart. Well, I've clearly just got that good of an imagination, but yeah. Alright, then all that's left is to break them. I don't know about that. I can try, but he's still hiding it even under these circumstances. Better have some good proof prepared that he's keeping something from us. Well, I could always come back later. He's hardly in a position to go anywhere. I'll try asking Adrian about him or the victim. He might still have a little more info. Are we done? Let's see about that. This. Let's talk about the murder. How often do I have to say it? I know nothing. Mr. Ronas didn't even tell me his plan for that night. I'm afraid that won't fly. There is someone who clearly saw you leaving town together with the victim that night. That person? What do you mean? Why didn't you take any damage? Why would I take damage here exactly? We're just having a conversation. Anyway, I wasn't done. How often do I have to say it? I know nothing. It's clearly not willing to talk about this. Better try the weird lock thing if I want to admit anything. It's kind of sad that's my best shot, isn't it? Alright. I mean, I guess I could ask what's his face, but I already talked about this. Okay, clearly I need to talk to the witness. Okay. Karan Kat's house. April 23rd, 11:20 a.m., Outer Districts. Karan Kat's house. Be the witness's house. The killer's hideout. You make life really simple in your mind. Are we ready to make the arrest? Nobody is going to be arrested. We already have a suspect. Right. We have to stick to the order of events. We'll take it to court. Crush him there. Okay, so let's go through this again, I guess. No accusing the person of being a killer while we're talking, got it? Hashtag lame. I'm waiting. But maybe we could learn something by their reaction. I prefer their cooperation over their reaction. Still waiting. Oh, but what can you do? Cut your allowance. Okay, my lips are sealed. There we go. Making progress on the parenting end. Now back to the case. Anybody home? I sense a murder. Because someone isn't opening the door? Locked rooms mean murder! Are you the one saying this was the real killer just a moment ago? I'd imagine it'd be more likely he ran, though. Ugh, what's this ruckus? Supposed to be done with the police force for the day, you hear me? Hello, Karen Cat, right? Got it. Ugh. Falling asleep with his eyes open. I cut my sleep last night. Zzz. Don't make me cut short my nap, too. Strikes me as a little worse than just lack of sleep. Well, it's hard to explain. We'll have an important job at the trial tomorrow. So, if you could answer some questions for us. He's looking a little pale, isn't he? We've never seen him before. I'm sure this is normal and he's fine. Hey, cut the whispering and ask your questions. Make it quick. Just cut to the chase, if you know what I mean. Well, at least he's still cooperating. Alright, well, we'll see if he saw the person leave. But I think now is a good time to save and put off this witness interrogation for the next episode. I'm still pretty confused about the murder. I don't see how this kid could have even done it. You can't whack someone's head that far. And I'm betting whoever did it can walk through walls because of this window, because of all those spell traces, because of the clue in the newspaper. Walk through walls. That's what I think. That's my theory. So I guess we'll find out at some point in the future. Thanks for watching and see you next time.